Thanks for tuning in to Topanga Sessions. I'm your host, Nick Stubbs, and here we are with Nagle. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. Now, I wanted to go ahead and jump straight into what we really are here at Topanga Sessions want to talk about, and that's struggle and how it actually helps you become a better person.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Then I just will drop in with day one. Just in my family, the year that my mom was pregnant with me, my father accidentally ran over and killed my brother.
And I just gotta say, that's heavy. To come, for your parents, for you coming into that. First, thanks for sharing that, because that's not something easy at all. And so how did that shape you, even from day one?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's almost like I didn't experience the tragedy, but I just experienced being around the people that went through that tragedy. And, there's a lot of little things, but, when you're a kid, you're the ultimate victim because the world just happens to you. And so, when my parents are going through all this stuff, I think the thing that I picked up on was, to take care of everyone's emotions, and also they were very protective of me. So everything I did was about, not fully, taking the bull by the horns. It's just being careful about everything and cautious.
The bubble wrap approach.
Yeah, the bubble wrap, and so that's I ended up taking a backseat a lot in life. It's I heard some of that with your conversation with Malachi, and definitely relate to that. And the funny part is that whole thing got me into, I just became a people pleaser. And in a lot of ways, that's you're holding yourself back because you're living for other people and not yourself. And then, but in a funny way, that got me into performance, because then that was a way that I could connect with people and make them happy. But it's also a place where I feel good and feel like me.
Isn't it strange how when you're trying to be a a pleaser, that you at home, you feel like two different people. You feel like your body, and then you feel like you're this person inside your body, and you're not fully connected. So to take that and finally say, I'm going to do something that's for me, is such a big leap of faith. And I understand fully how hard that must have been to start. But obviously we're here now, and it had such a big impact on you. So that's really, really cool that you were able to take this tragedy and just redefine who you were.
Yeah, and I think it's also it's every... the ultimate tragedy, I think, is when you kind of give up on, or you don't connect with the liking or loving of yourself. And that everything else is just kind of a learning experience. It's when and I think, something that's super common with musicians and artists of that type. It's we hear a lot of songs about heartbreak, but it's just, that's one of those really, really grounding experiences. That's you learn and you grow from that. You learn to be okay with yourself. Heartache is so great, because then you're no longer reliant on another person to validate that, and it's all back to you. So every time that challenge comes up, or a challenge like that, it's just a chance to lift that weight and to exercise that self-love.
That's amazing. Now, something I want to share with you and you at home that I don't never talked about before is the fact that my dad was married before he met my mom, and a drunk motorcyclist ran over my dad's son. So that had a huge impact on me as well. And so when I say from the bottom of my heart, I can truly understand where you're coming from. It's so crazy how these traumatic events in our lives, how they start to shape us. But the more that we actually take a back seat, so to speak, and really just examine who we are and start to dive in of what makes us happy, is what gives people like you and me and you at home that have gone through massive tragedies or just things that have happened in your life, that it it really makes you a humble person, and you start to become really grateful for everything.
Yeah. If we got some time, I'll tell you a quick story.
Oh, please do.
When I was 21, well, first of all, I'll say like I had a really great relationship with my father. He was my best friend.
Oh, that's so awesome.
And when I was 21, he passed away. He got a rare blood cancer and through complications with chemo, and then he was just out of my life. And that was right when I started to go out into the world to like find myself and be who I am. And about 6 years ago, I kind of came into a community. I moved to LA. I went to Burning Man for my first time in 2014.
Could you also, for people at home, could you explain what Burning Man is and the community around it?
Okay, my nutshell of Burning Man is that people are there to show up to, like, you're there to create the experience. You're not only attending, you're participating. And it's, all about self-reliance, like making the experience happen for yourself. And it's a really great way to gift who you are, like in a space where that you're encouraged to gift who you are. So.
And also truly be you and not be that shell of a person.
Oh, yeah. So, me coming into that, it totally transformed me. And I remember, just like this whole thing of losing my dad and one morning, my first morning, and I swear to God, completely sober, I'm sitting there and I'm missing him. And I'm just like...
And this is at Burning Man?
Oh, yeah. This is just me, like, looking at my life and, like, all the people that I'm surrounding myself with, and I'm discovering who I am, and I'm liking myself, and I'm liking my people, and I'm just missing my dad because it's like, I wish that I could share this with him. And I'm, like, thinking, I close my eyes, and I say, where are you? Because, I want you to see this, and I open my eyes, and I crap you not. I don't know what you could say, but I'm looking up into the sky, and you know how you can see like a derpy elephant or like whatever kind of circus creature, and it was a picturesque, it was just perfect. It was his face exactly. And so of course I go like full fish face ugly cry, and like I'm losing my shit, and
Aww.
my partner at the time, she comes back from the porta potties and is like, oh my God, what's wrong? And I'm like, ooh. She's like, ooh, there's a man in the sky. So she's seeing him now too. And she starts talking to me, and she says, not what she normally says. She's using words and these idiosyncratic sayings, like referring to me as the boy, all these ways in which only my father talked to me. And so it was getting freaky, and I was like...
So to the point of speaking through.
Yeah, I was just like, you're going to have to be quiet right now because this is really weird, but also wonderful. And then I pull her close. I'm like, I wonder what he'd think of you. And again, I shit you not, coming in right next to that cloud, another little cloud rolls up into a thumbs up, parks right next to the face, and then we're just both done. We're like, okay, I don't even know what to make of it, but it's just losing my father... And then coming back to this place where I had an experience where it felt like I was sharing my life with him. And that's all that matters, is that experience.
That is so beautiful.
So, it's like now when it's no longer a thing that I look upon as tragedy or painful, or maybe the pain is so sweet, that sorrow is so sweet, that like tears of joy and tears of sorrow are like almost, they're the same thing. And so I think from that point on, like, I really took life like that.
Can I know it's COVID, but can I give you a hug? Like, that was...
I'm getting tested every week.
Come here.
My breath.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And for you at home that have had tragedy in your life of loved ones that have passed, the thing is that they're always with you, because growing up, even like when my dad passed when I was very young, they're still with you. And it's just really just embracing all of who you are and becoming a whole person. So I absolutely love that. Now, how did music come into your life?
My father.
Of course.
Yeah. he always had that dream, but he didn't have a supportive family, you know. But he found a way to use that. Like uh, he was in the corporate world, and so the way that he would make friends with his business buddies and make connections is he would invite them over for dinner. My mom would cook, and they would host a really awesome night where my mom would play on the piano, my dad would get out his guitar, and he'd sing to them and wow them. You know, like, what's this guy with a suit and tie have, you know, this talent and voice? So I really got that from him, and it even has translated into, like, what I did, you know, for the last 6 years pre-COVID was I swore off bars and clubs and decided to start, I'd go to parties and I'd steal people away, like a come with me if you want to live adventure.
I love that.
Yeah, so my dad had a huge influence on that, just seeing the way that he intimately connected, using music to connect one-on-one with people.
Oh my God, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have taken any inch of your life and fallen down a spiral, but you took everything as an opportunity to grow and embrace yourself, and that's really, really rare. So thank you. I mean, that's powerful.
Yeah, and I'll add, because anybody who's listening, it's like I am at a really good place now. I feel solid and I really like myself. But it definitely took just surviving that, being on the edge and peering over, you know, into the abyss. And I think that that's a necessary part of the journey. And that everyone goes through that, and that's like completely human, you know. It's just like accepting, you know, that this is part of the experience and finding a way to love it. I mean, even take pleasure from it.
Truly. And I mean, the edge, as you put it, is we are born into this awful thing called social conformity of you're supposed to fit into this tight little box, and this is you, and if you get out of this box, you are demonized. And then what's even worse is, like, I'm from the South, and it's work hard, build a family, go basically into debt, try to pay that off, and then when you retire, go have fun. But the thing is that every single day is an opportunity for, like, truly living your life. I mean, I'm from the mountains of Tennessee, raised on 300 acres of mountain land. I now live in California. I get to talk to people about their stories of pain and showing you that, like, we can all move forward. And I actually live on my sailboat, which I taught myself how to sail. And like,
That's cool.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But every day there are presents that are there to help you along the way, because you shouldn't look at your life as you against the world, because life is actually your best friend trying to help you. So when you are doing right, he's like, I got you. But when you're on the wrong path, it's really not about like making life difficult for you. It's doing that to help you get onto a better path in life. And I fundamentally believe that.
Yeah, I think it's a both and world. I think one of the things that we sometimes do is, like, we conflate things as either good or bad, instead of taking, you know, I know it's cliche, but taking the good with the bad. Just not even saying taking the good with the bad, but the good and the bad are, you know, the same side of the, you know, the one thing that is truly wonderful. And it's just the opportunity to have the human experience, the opportunity to be alive right now. Even, like, just tripping out on the fact, you know, you're talking about sailing, and the shirt you're wearing and, like, the way you look right now is also, like, my dad, like, coming out and saying hi to me.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
It's just like every moment in life has such every moment can be such a rich experience. You know, once you...
Every moment is rich.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the perception on how you perceive it.
Yeah.
Man, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. I loved, like, your whole entire story. I look forward to hearing more about you and your journey in this grand scheme of life. But for now, I want to go ahead, and I'm curious what song you're going to be playing for us.
You want to know what's funny? The song I'm playing today...
Inquiring minds want to know.
I'm... Okay. It's it's fairly an oldie, but that I forgot that I had written. So when I decided I was going to play today, I'm like, oh yeah, what's this titled? So the working title is Red, because it's my favorite color.
I mean, I've got to say I'm covered in red tattoos, so I feel you.
All right. Oh, perfect. Synchronicity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much, and look forward to hearing you play.
Absolutely.
But
my
really,
pleasure.
once again, thanks so much for sharing your
Oh, yeah.
amazing story. And I hope you at home can take what we're doing here at Topanga Sessions, talking with these amazing people, and really just taking a step forward in life. Because really, that's what the whole entire purpose of this show is to help people move forward, and also allow people like you who are artists to truly share who you are behind the music, which I think is so important.
Nick, this is awesome. Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure.
She loved me, but she loved the red the best. Hard to be in love like a communist, or any girl who wants to take a protest, to any boy who wants to wear a dress. Go on and do what you want. Go on and do what you like. Yeah, go on and do what you want and do what you like and do what you want and do what you like. I've been waiting for you all my life. It's a burden to be blessed by you every day like this. Anyone who wants to love you right, it's a burden to be blessed by you every day like L-V-E-L-E-S. Go on and do your world's best. Go on and do what you want. Yeah. Go on and do what you like. Yeah. Go on and do what you want and do what you like and do what you want. I've been waiting for you all my life. It's a burden to be blessed by every day like this. Anyone who wants to love you right, it's a burden to be blessed by every day like L-V-E-L-E-S. Dance. Go on and do your world's best. Go on and do what you want. Go on and do what you like. Yeah. Go on and do what you want and do what you like and do what you want.